was a sight for my soul.
Today, we're off to the hip specialist, so he can take a really long needle, stick it right into my hip joint, so I can feel better. Okay, now we're in the doctor's office. This is an ultrasound machine. They're gonna use that on my hip to see the needle going into the joint. I'm really nervous about this. I hate needles. That's the needle. Look how freaking long that thing is. It's gotta be like 5 inches long. Oh, this is gonna hurt so bad. So the doctor just came in and he told me I'm gonna get 2 needles. First they're gonna numb it and then they're gonna stick the big one in about 4 inches, he said. Yeah. I'm not gonna be able to record the shot, but I'll tell you how it felt afterwards. He says that usually people are surprised how much it doesn't hurt. I'm looking forward to that. There's the needle going into my hip all the way through. All right, I gotta say, the anxiety and anticipation leading up to the shot were far worse than the actual shot. Dr. Wendell did an awesome job. I didn't really feel anything except for the initial pinch of the numbing shot. So hopefully it helps. Joe, where are you taking me now?
To a craft fair.
A craft fair?
I'm looking for something for the store. So, oh, what's going on? Put your seatbelt on.
Oh. So why does you looking for the store... Wait, that didn't sound right. Why is it that you're looking for something for the store and I have to go with you?
Because I hate driving in Morristown. It's like going to New York City.
Yeah, but I don't want to go to a craft fair.
I don't care. Misery loves company.
Doesn't sound like a very cool thing to do today. So we're over at the Morristown Armory where they're doing this whole craft fair. What are you hoping to find here?
It's in my head. I can't tell you. It's something for the store.
Like what?
I can't tell you. Because then you're going to think you know what I want, and you're going to drag me through really fast. So if I don't tell you, I can take my time looking.
This is not a slight to old people, but I feel like this is an old people event, and I'm not that old.
I need something for my store. Just cooperate.
Man.
Anything I wanted, and I'm an easy sell.
I knew it was going to be a waste of time.
Shut up. You were talking to that guy forever. I couldn't shut you up.
There was one guy.
So that was taking up my time. I could have been out of there in 2 minutes. You're going to think you know what I want, and you're going to drag me through really fast. So if I don't tell you, I can take my time looking.
What were you hoping for with the craft show?
I told you, it's in my head. I know what I want. I just have to find it.
Could you imagine having to sell to this kind of customer? We have no idea what it is she wants.
I am an easy sell. You have to force me to keep my money in my wallet. It's always out.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
You're on video.
This is the story of my life. Actually, I should be getting paid. This is like a guest appearance because I've been like MIA.
That's not how it works when you own a company.
No, this is a guest appearance. There's got to be some kind of compensation.
So somehow I dragged JoAnn into my basement studio here, which she's very happy about. What do you think of the studio?
I think when you're traveling in the next couple months, when you come home, it's going to be gone.
No, it's not.
Oh, it will be gone.
You wanted me out of the kitchen, and now I'm here.
And you took advantage of me while I was sick in bed with the flu.
Let me show you what it actually looks like. This is a nice, neat studio.
Not.
Like, what could you not like about it?
First of all, if I would have done this, this would have been a closed cabinet to not look at all this mess that like is giving me anxiety to look at.
I can literally slide my chair over and get anything I need.
Yeah, and it
very quickly.
It looks sloppy and messy.
It's not sloppy. It's functional.
No. And wait.
Anyway.
You don't see, but there was a cord with about 10 others attached to it across the room, plugged into the bathroom.
You didn't want me drilling in our holes in the wall for more outlets, so I have to work with what I've got. So that's not what I want to talk about. What I do want to talk about is some of the questions that you and I get asked running a business together as partners, as husband and wife for 20 years, and what our challenges are. And a lot of people that we hear from that run like a family business or a husband-wife business have a lot of struggles because of the relationship they have at work carrying over into their relationship at home. And I think we've figured out over the years how to function where that doesn't really affect our personal life too much, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's pick 3 things that we could talk about.
I can't help it. You make me laugh.
Okay.
You know why? I feel like I'm in a tanning salon.
If we turn the lights off, it's gonna be
And it's like
extremely
actually
dark.
hot in here.
Are you ready?
Hold on. I need the...
Let's talk about 3 things, Joe, that we could use as a guideline or a recommendation on things that you and I do that help us be successful working together as husband and wife and running our business and coming home and not letting it affect our personal life.
Number 1 would be having separate defined roles in what we do.
Okay, so that's key. So having it so that there's not a whole lot of overlap in our roles in the business, because if there were, that's when I think a lot of power struggle comes in and it starts to affect you personally. Because if we're both trying to do the same job and we're trying to take control of the direction of it, I think that's where a lot of problems could stem from.
I agree.
So a lot of the stuff that JoAnn and I do in the business, we each have our own defined roles. Like, I'm basically in charge of construction, and I'm pretty much heading up marketing and that kind of stuff with construction too. JoAnn handles
everything else.
Yeah, that's true. JoAnn does handle everything else. But here's the thing. So if this is our business, this much is construction, this much is everything.
Take your knee out.
Is everything else. That's not true. So construction is a big part of our business, but the stuff that she does, like manage our retail store, manage our service, our maintenance, our customer interaction stuff, employee stuff, that's all JoAnn. And I'm really thankful that she does that and does it really well, because I'm not wired that way. She is, and that's where a perfect symmetry happens. So number 2, what would be the second thing that helps us be successful as a couple running a business?
We, when we're home, we try to leave work at work and have like family time and not bring it home as much as possible.
So when you're an entrepreneur, it's hard to have defined hours that you're working, because even though you're home, you're still thinking about things you can do, whether it's process related or it's marketing related or just things that you want to catch up on that you didn't get to do during the day. And there has to be a shut off switch when you get home. You have to it's just like having any other job. If you carry all that stuff home with you, it's just going to consume your life, and that's going to eat away at your personal relationship. And if you find yourself having dinner every night just talking about work and business and things that have to get done, you kind of lose that personal space. And I think that's the demise of a lot of family run or couples run businesses. So I think that's something we make a conscious effort to do. Now, we still get a lot of bleed over and these things happen. We try to catch ourselves and say, okay, let's cut this off and we'll talk about this tomorrow, because I don't want to spend the rest of the night talking about jobs that have to be done or other tasks that when it comes to the business. Number 3, what would be the third thing that we could probably talk about that helps us be successful?
I gave you 2. You come up with 3.
I'm embellishing on everything. You're just giving me the subject.
I'm getting a tan, okay? You go.
Communication. Number 3 is communication. We talk quite a bit, but when we communicate, we have to be careful not to let it become an emotional thing where if we're talking about something personal, we have to keep business. So if things have to be done, as part of JoAnn's role, I'm gonna feed it off to her and she has to take it and not get mad at me for dumping stuff on her. But that's a difficult one, right? Because
you're a big dumper. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I want to finish. I have stuff to do.
It's you recognizing that even though I'm bringing it to you, it's part of what you do, and you have to pretty much take it without getting mad at me, as you would in an office situation. So if you're at work and your job is to make the phone calls to the customers or to follow up on things, that's the person I would go to, and JoAnn is that person when it comes to that aspect, and she's got to not take it personally, and that's hard to do sometimes because she's swamped with a ton of work and I'm swamped with a ton of work, and she does feel like I'm dumping stuff on her, but I have to focus on what I do, and if I don't do that, my job suffers. So it's having that communication where we both are well aware of what needs to get done and doing it in a way where it's positive and not something that becomes a personal attack. That's something that we work on constantly. But I think keeping that line of communication open all the time is probably the biggest reason that we are still in business together and still married and we're finding success. So anything else you'd want to add?
And then you know when to send flowers.
Knowing when to send flowers, that's probably number 4. Know when to send flowers. So that's all I got for today. If you're running a family business, leave me a comment below. Let me know how you're doing it, how you're finding success. Maybe we can help some other people along the way too. Hit that subscribe button, leave me a like, drop a comment down there. Love to hear from you, and I'll see you on the next one.
There goes a sight from my soul.